Hello friends, Rodrick here, and I'm just here to give you an up-close and all-access behind-the-scenes of African Tales Masomo Makubwa. Should be a great time. What was the inspiration for this show? That is a very good question. We here at Michelin had a creative meeting, and we decided this year that we wanted to push the envelope. This has been stemming from last year and started in the summer of last year, and we wanted to have something that was accessible and very fun and very family oriented for kids. So we took one of our tabletop shows that we had done for the Orlando Philharmonic and decided to make that into a more bigger scale show. So A Tree Full of Monkeys was a show that Maddie Chambers had created and directed with one of the actors here named Arius West. And it was a fun and beautiful show that was made for kids, and that kids could come out and have the symphony and the orchestra play behind the silliness of Arius. And so we decided to take that show and make it to something big. So with that, we've done a lot of research, and a lot of research has come with that. And from the original story, it was set in Africa. And we decided to take that and then say, hey, well, let's put four more stories into this show to make it a bigger and longer show that's probably about 40 minutes. And that was a challenge, and be able to take specific stories and consolidate them and to make them where they're fun and entertaining, and also have a learning curve to them so kids can also have something to learn about when they leave. So as I said before, there was a lot of research that had gone into what we wanted to do, and the fact that we were putting it in Africa, where the original story, A Tree Full of Monkeys, had come from, we wanted to make sure that extensive research had been done to make sure that we were accurately depicting the stories that we wanted to tell. So A Tree Full of Monkeys, which is actually the hat seller and the monkeys, is a show that is just full of fun, full of love. And of course that the research that I wanted to do was to figure out a spot of where we wanted to set the story. And upon research, learning that Tanzania is home to 27 plus species of monkeys, different types of primates there. And I was like, okay, so what better place to set a story is where they would have all types of monkeys. And I believe that learning those facts and those histories of where we wanted to go with the story and how we wanted to make this story was what was driven by the research. And I think it's more important that we start to learn more about Africa as we went along. Like, people think Africa's a country when it's really a continent, and that within that continent there is 50 plus countries in them. And so I had to research all of these countries and see where animals came from and see how I wanted to tackle and bring a learning element to it so it can stick with the kids and have these type of resources that they could take back home and share with their parents. And I think it's such a valuable lesson that we learn more about what's around us than just right here at home. So I think the research was something that was a pivotal point that took weeks and weeks upon trying to make sure it was very accurate, and wanted to nail down to make sure that we did not, and I didn't personally want to offend anybody's culture, and wanted to be much as accurate as possible. So some of the cool elements that we do have in this show is something simple as this, is the baobab tree, one of the most pivotal trees in Africa. It's one of the trees that everybody knows. It nourishes life, it feeds the animals, it gives resources to the land, and it's in its creative stage right now. And there's so many things that's going to happen with this tree that we can't wait to show you all of the things that happen. And like as you see, it's just like, again, it's in this working stage. So we're still in our rehearsal process, we're in our building process. So like I said, when it came to the research, we wanted to be very accurate on the things that we wanted to do and how we wanted to portray it. Be different. If we're in a different place, we couldn't just put a regular tree like a palm tree or a maple or an oak tree. We wanted to have those original roots and give this show the validity that we know that it could give. And so why not start with one of the most iconic features of Africa, and that is the baobab tree. So another element and cool aspect that I love and is one of my favorites, I have many favorites, but this is one of my all-time favorites, is that we have African dance incorporated into this show, and there's a bit of it that's displayed. And we had a choreographer by the name of Shango Bumi come in and teach our actors and actresses some authentic dance moves that will carry the show. I think this is one of the most, it blows me away, because just seeing the movement and knowing the history of the movement and knowing how the story that it tells for the movement of each movement and what you do is something that I am grateful for having her here to show us and be able to teach us, and that we can be able to learn from. And maybe there will be someone who inspires to want to dance out that's watching this show and has a dream and goal of maybe wanting to learn African dance. This is something, again, I feel that is pivotal to the accuracy of what we're doing. I also had a lovely friend named Kuku Asheri Boa that gave me a lot of information from Africa, and she's African herself. And I just wanted to make sure, once again, that I was, appropriate, and that I was accurate, and that all the things that I did was true and near and dear to Africa. So even comes to the music that we are creating. RJ Temple is our composer, and we're creating original African music for this. And I think that having all of these elements combined and having some of the most pivotal pieces that highlight the points and parts of Africa is what will make this show one of the best shows to see in Orlando. Alright friends, that's all the time I have, but thank you so much for tuning in and dropping by and seeing what we have all in store for you here at Mishali Puppets with African Tales, Masomo Makubwa. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date to all of the information with this show and just with Mishali Puppets in general. We're doing such an amazing work here in Orlando, Florida, in the Central Florida area, and we want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to see this show and have the opportunity to be able to enjoy it. And if you're wondering how to book this show, you can book it at denise@mishalipuppets.org. Thank you so much, everyone who is helping with this show, who is contributing to the people who are going to watch it. I appreciate everyone's love and support. Until next time, asante sana.